This is Lam Tin Station. Lam Tin is a station on the Hong Kong MTR Kwun Tong line, built as part of the extension to Quarry Bay. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Let's get over here first. The station is linked to the nearby hillside community of Lam Tin by a series of escalators. In the 1980s, the Eastern Harbour Crossing was planned by the colonial government. Following the successful performance of the MTR since 1979, the government decided to extend the Kwun Tong line through a new tunnel to Quarry Bay across the harbour. It was later decided that before the entrance to the tunnel, trains would stop at a station in the Lam Tin Valley, where it goes into the Sai Cho Wan Hill and then underground to the entrance of the tunnel. The station was opened on 1st of October 1989, 10 years after the opening of Kwun Tong line. Exactly 10 years. As part of his official visit to Hong Kong with Princess Diana, Charles III, formerly known as the Prince of Wales Charles, officiated the opening of the station, in which a commemorative plaque remains on display to this day. After the opening of the Eastern Harbour Crossing, Lam Tin, with the MTR station and bus terminus, became a crucial transport interchange in East Kowloon. The station serves passengers between TransWA and other parts of Kowloon, as well as between Hong Kong and Kowloon. Platform screen doors have been in use since late August 2005. The Eastern Harbour Crossing has now been taken over by the TransWA line running between Po Lam or Lotus Park and North Point. Passengers wanting to take the Eastern Harbour Crossing from the Kwun Tong line now have to change trains at Yau Tong, which is one station over, and now Kwun Tong line doesn't cross the harbour anymore, so it will terminate at Till Keng Lang. Station before Till Keng Lang is Yau Tong, where you can do a cross-platform interchange towards TransWA line for North Point, where you can cross the harbour from there. Following the MTR station's opening in 1989, the area around Lam Tin Station has been developed into a major transportation interchange in Hong Kong. The shopping centre and Scenery Plaza, which is right here, above the transportation interchange adjacent to the station, were built on a site that used to be occupied by a hillside squatter village. The original Lam Tin community has also seen several rebuilding projects since the station had been built. The interchange has brought in new residential and commercial demand in the community. The bus termini, the Lei Yu Mun interchange, and other public transport facilities had transformed the Lam Tin area into an important transportation hub as well as a commercial and residential centre. Here we are at Lam Tin Station. That was a very difficult part for me to do because I need to basically read on my other phone. Here we are at exit A, which is actually on the bottom floor, and if you actually want to go up to the top where Xinwei Garden and also other spots are, you need to keep on taking escalators and through all of this plaza. So that's A here, which serves this side, the shopping center, and also the uphill estates, which includes, as soon as you actually finish the whole shopping center, it will be Ping Tin Estate, which there is a Ping Tin, here we go, which there is a Ping Tin bus terminus. Yes, up there for some of the routes. And also if you keep on going up way top, we can go to Quang Tin Estate, all of that very high up in the other parts. Here we are walking into the station with this little bridge here that they built connecting the station. The station is actually in the middle of the carway, which is just literally below us. Can't see it, but this is in the middle, actually not in the middle, in the other side where it's inside the hill. So this side is actually inside the hill for this whole station. And we'll take D right now, first, because we're right here, so. And after we go through all the exits, I'm gonna talk about how much I hate the exits here. Oh man. All right, let's go to D here. Sceneway Gardens, which is literally just up one escalator, a very, very long one, and you can lead to Sceneway Garden, and also a exit that you can lead to Laguna City, which is closer to Lam Tin Station, and also you can take a minibus from Kwun Tong over, which that minibus actually connects Kwun Tong Yuman Square to Lam Tin Station via Laguna City. So you can go up there first. Oh my gosh, let's get up there first. And here I made it up the whole escalator. We have D2 on this side and D1 on that side. D2 is just for Sceneway Garden, which is literally right here. I've never exited this side because there's no point of me going into Sceneway Garden, but here we are at Sceneway Garden. It's actually a private areas, which I am not meant to stay here, so I'm just gonna step out and quick scan, and we'll just call that there. That's that. No buses come up here, so that's it, because that's a private area. I don't want to stay in there. We have D1, which is actually the exit that I always use when I use Lam Tin Station, because I need to go to Laguna City. That's where my optometrist is, so I need to usually regularly go there. This is how I go up. This way, unfortunately, nothing, no escalators here, just stairs. Up to this is where the hill is. You can see, literally is a hill. So that's why it's a long escalator. And this is the hill. You can literally continue up the hill if you need it, which there is minibuses going up there. And here's the minibus that actually connects with Kwun Tong. Is that Kwun Tong or is that Yau Tong? That's Kwun Tong right there. 23M or 23B, that's the routes that go down there. This one is KZ8370. Absolutely trash. Yes, absolute trash, this one. But it leads back down to Laguna City and it goes to Kwun Tong Yuman Square Terminus. This thing sucks. This route also sucks. It's good that I sometimes will take it because it's cheap. Instead of walking from the bottom, which is Laguna City, that's where you go into Laguna City. You see that path right there? That's the path right there, and you take an escalator, not escalator, lift down, and then you walk again. That's Laguna City way in the background. That's all these. And we have this minibus, which will loops down to Laguna City and continues there. It is cheap to connect out to Kwun Tong, so that's why I usually take it, but all the minibuses are so bad. Except some of the Gen 7 ones. Okay, but that one is an LPG. Literally LPG, and then 16 seats, and it's trash. The motors, most of them has died completely. It just sounds weird already. Doesn't meant to be used again anymore, and they're still using it because it's cheap for these minibuses to operate. If you need to use diesel ones, the diesel ones are the better one, of course, but diesel ones actually are way more expensive to buy for the company compared with the LPG ones. Okay, so that's D. We'll head back down to concourse. We'll go to B and C on the other end of the concourse. Alright, I've made it back down from D. Alright, just to make sure I didn't press slow-mo. That's gonna be stupid. But here we are, let's walk through the whole station now. Very, very wide open, in honesty, this station. A lot of shops. And outside with Hang Seng banks and banks, ATMs, all over the place. This is actually a very brand new bank that just recently refurbished for Hang Seng Bank. Really, really beautiful, really, really nice. And you can see this whole thing, so little people on it, because that side's basically for another exit. So that's why, and the gates to enter is right here. So that's why literally no one is past this point. Literally no one. And we have B and C on the other end of the station, which I used the bus terminus exit, which we're gonna go over there. I've never used the other one. I'm not so sure about the other one, but let's go and take a look at it. Okay, hang on. There we go. Alright, here we are. Service center. And unfortunate is that because, again, old station, renovating the lift. So that's the one and only lift that has been now renovated. I have filmed that lift actually last time. So you can check out that lift video, which is pretty cool. Let's continue our walk here. Okay, here's the other side of the entrances. No toilets for these stations, of course. They're so old, of course, no toilets. And there's also an isolated entrance right here. Is that an isolated entrance? No, it's just another one. Yeah, it's just another entrance there, which you can walk down the stairs over there, I think. And here's public transport interchange, exit B, which is this way, up the bridge, and you walk over. And then you have the bus terminus over there. We're not going to go down to the bus terminus. We'll walk over there and take a look at it. But we'll just take a look at the top of it. We're not going to go down to it. So this stop, this bus terminus, Lam Tin Station, serves decent amount of routes. Some routes terminate here. Some continues way up the hill to the other part of Lam Tin, up the hill for the estates, including Route 15, 215X. All those will go up there. And also cross-harbor routes, including the most common one is 601, which goes to Admiralty. I filmed that one. And also some other routes that goes through Eastern Harbor Crossing will also stops here. Yes, they will stop inside the bus terminus. Here we are. That is a Cross Harbour bus stop. All of the routes are marked as red, which always red buses means crossing Eastern Harbour Crossing or Cross Harbour Tunnel. And a city bus driving in here. Yep, buses back there, you can see them. And we have a 606 driving in here. One of the most terrible Cross Harbour routes. Here we are, 606. It loops so far for the 606. City bus, crappy bus. And we have terminating bus that I think lines up around here somewhere. We can take a look at it. Yep, there are the KMBs that terminate here. There it is, very, very huge bus interchange, but again, very inconvenient to go to. We got very decent amount of selections. Most of the routes actually terminates here are going very far. Qingyi, that one, 42C, way at the back. That guy, red guy, focus. This guy though, this guy I'm focusing on right now, this guy, 258D, Tin Moon. Yes, Tin Moon. Nightmare. I've taken it one time, it's nightmare. And we have 89D, this one goes to Wu Kaisha Station. Also long. And that's basically it. We also have W2 that actually does the circular and turn back here. That's the one and only good one, I think. All of the other ones are pretty trashy. Yep, that's the bus terminus. And that's exit B. Let's go back inside. We also have shops here, isn't it? Oh, more. Oh, this is Scenway Plaza right there. Scenway Plaza, which can also go up to Scenway Gardens up there, the other end of the hill. Now we go to C. Let's walk back inside and we go to C. I do want to find out where the hell is the plaque that is mentioned in the description by Charles III. I don't know whether it's actually still here, that plaque. The one in Hong Kong Station for Queen Elizabeth II is still there. It's just I've never seen a plaque here. So it's good that if I can actually go and look for it, but I don't know. Because I consider really I've never seen it before. Let's go this way. I've never exited this one. Lei Yu Mun Road exit. C. We have some information actually regarding this exit. Let's go and take a look at it and we'll read it out. The station offers, on a trial basis, an accessible car service for passengers using wheelchair. On demand, the service will transport the passengers from either exit A or D1 to exit C, which is accessible. Oh my gosh, you need to... Every 30 minutes, if you need to use it. Oh, it goes to Yao Tong Station, though. It goes to Yao Tong Station, not exit C, man. It goes to Yao Tong Station. Buses departing from the bus terminus. This is the annoying part, because they need to go back that way. So that's why you drive this way, up there, and then you turn roundabout back, which is so bad. See, those guys drove up and they need to U-turn back down because they can't cross the road. So apparently if you need to use wheelchair, you can go to Yao Tong Station with this. And you need to call them too, it's not like a regular thing. Wow. And here's exit C, literally on the main road. Never been down here because now nothing down that way, literally no one walks this way. KX6728, that's not too bad. And that's this main road here. 619 going to Macau Ferry across the harbor, and W2. Just like that, W2. It will not drive into the bus terminus apparently, it just terminates, it just stops outside. Right there. W2 always uses very decent buses, always are B8Ls, so that's why it's very decent. Trash here, and those guys finished looping. That's the 277X that you guys saw earlier on. from the bus terminus that departed, and also with this 42C that also just departed and finished the loop now and loop back down. That's lane A exit C, and if you need to use this, yeah, I of course can't use it. I'm not a wheelchair passenger, so that's all of the exits. Let's go down to the platform. Okay, real fast before I want to say is, before I head into the concourse and the platforms, I have actually one time experienced a very interesting experience here in Lam Tin. That I went up, of course, D1, as I said earlier on. And then the escalator going up is fine for the escalator going up, and there are no stairs for D1. So that's why there are only 2 escalators, one up and one down. One time, one of them went off, died, and then only one direction for the escalators is available. So going up is fine that one time. Going up was fine, but you cannot come back down. So they ended up still actually operating that service that I just said with the shuttle bus. But of course you can take it for sure, everyone, because there's no way to get back down from up there except that escalator. So I ended up actually took that thing that one time. Took the shuttle bus from up there, exit D, and I think they connect with exit B instead, because those are just coaches which are high floors. So all of the people using that coach was normal people not using wheelchair. So that's why I think they just parked inside the bus terminus for the bus, and then you can just walk down here for the D1 passengers last time. And then I took that thing. It literally took me almost 20 minutes to come from up there to down here. I think it at least took at least 15 minutes to come down here from the top, because they need to loop around via Laguna City and then goes out. And then the biggest problem is you need to turn back to Lam Tin because it's a free shuttle bus, so they're not meant to actually get you to another station. So they need to get you back to Lam Tin Station. But unfortunately, is that the path to go to Lam Tin Station from up there, Laguna City, is drive down to Laguna City from D1. And then what's the only spot to turn back? Is actually somewhere near Kwun Tong Station. I literally can see Kwun Tong Station from that coach, but they cannot stop there, so I have to do a roundabout and just go back here. Which literally, okay, here's the map. I can literally show you this. Hopefully I can show you. Here's Kwun Tong Road right here. Kwun Tong Road. And then here is D1. So end off they need to drive this, drive this, drive this, drive this, down here, drive this, and then drive out here. They can't turn right here, so they need to turn left to go back down to Kwun Tong, which Kwun Tong is like somewhere around here. Get around about U-turn, drive back up here and drop you off right there. Which is ridiculous. It took so long that one time. Oh my gosh, these shuttle buses are so bad. Which is because it's just making a loop. It loops so far away. Let's get inside now. Alright, made it inside now. Let's get down to the platform. Concourse is completely empty, there's nothing here. Let's get down. Can't find the Charles III plaque, but whatever. You know that it existed, then it's all good. Let's head down. Information about the platform. Yeah. Platforms 1 and 2 share the same island platform. Like Lai King Station on the TransWA line, Lam Tin Station is built on an elevated platform, in which half of the platform is immersed into the Lam Tin Hill. And so the station is sealed like other underground stations, like underground right now, but not stations, but it's actually mixed. It is mixed as an elevated, ground level, and underground station. So it's very complicated because it's sealed inside the hill, but it's actually elevated. I'll show you later on when we spot trains. And let's walk around the station now. That's all of the information that you need to know about Lam Tin Station. Blue color, which I do like the blue color. I know before I said I don't like dull colors like this and also dark colors like this, but this is an underground station with outside, with the whole thing's completely sealed off. It's very dark, so a dark color kind of matches pretty well with it. That's that, and that's that. Alright, that's it for Lam Tin Station. Walk through all the exits and all of the stuff that's serving. Honestly speaking, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad because it's so old and all of the exits are absolutely terrible. It's not absolutely terrible, because it still actually is not too bad compared with Hang-On Station. It's already not as terrible as Hang-On Station because you need to walk so far. But especially if you look at the bus terminus exit, you need to walk a long ways to get to the bus terminus. A is just basically shopping center, and you need to go up the hill for a couple of escalators. D is literally just escalators, and then C is on ground level, which serves practically a whole lot of nothing. Which ended off, only exit C is accessible, which is on ground level, so of course no lifts for that one. And all the other exits are up the hill and no lifts, because they can't build lifts apparently for when it's actually back in the times and it's a very old station. So ended off, if you actually need for assistance, you need to go long ways with a shuttle bus and whatever those things are to loop a big loop around the whole station to get you to an accessible exit. Or even they bring you to Yao Tong Station, one station away. Which if you're taking Kwun Tong line back this way, then it's wasting time. If you're going across the harbor, cool, then saves some time, then you don't need to take this section right here. But still, but it's just decent services. At least it serves the up the hill areas that if you don't, then you're completely screwed down here. So at least it does help serve some of the things up there, and instead of completely nothing. So I'm going to give Lam Tin Station a 2.5 out of 5. Now, let's spot some trains. Not cutting. We got rush hours frequency, literally non-stop. Next train's arriving already. So no cuts. No cuts is also fine, so don't need to cut. Okay. Up, here's the next train already. And that's a rush hour one, 35. Earlier on was number 1, so you see significantly emptier. 8-3. You see, there's literally a whole batch. Look at this. This part. What the hell is it, this part? Except one person. Holy moly, whole thing is empty. This thing just came out fresh from the depot. So it only went through 2 stations, which is Ngau Tau Kok, which should be completely empty after Ngau Tau Kok. But after it hit Kwun Tong, it definitely got some people. And that's all of the people right here. So, very empty. Marking down numbers here. Next train is 3 minutes now. Let's cut it out. Oh, we don't need to cut again. Next train's coming in already. Should I cut? Because no announcements yet. I don't know. Yeah, we're cut. Okay, so far all C trains right now, which is not good. Literally every single C train, C train, C train. And now it's back to the same batch of train that I saw earlier on. But I hope M train, because rush hours, they do throw in hopefully at least one M train. But there are only 7 remain inside the depot right now for Kwun Tong line. And then most of them, they put it on Cheung Kong line, so that's why. So Cheung Kong line and Kwun Tong line, they are using the same depot. So that's why the M trains are basically sharing between the 2 lines. So that's why. Got number 1 here, C train. 351, 352. Oh, please stand back. So funny. And there that goes. Oh, no need to cut because the announcement played already, so I don't need to cut again. Perfect. If it's the same now, because of this, it's probably a rush hour train coming in here. So it's probably a fresh train came out just there, and a Q train saw it already. Oh man, really unlucky today with them with the trains. Q train. Is that Q train or is this another C train? That's just that's a Q train. 36. Oh, the lower one, 753. Oh, 751. Okay, close, close. My memory's close, but didn't get it. Another train that has the sticker slightly lowered. Still no M trains. Well, again, M trains like the rarest thing of all times right now, but. So I don't expect that you're gonna use it, but this thing just came out from the depot. You see how empty this is because of rush hours. Because of 2 consecutive trains right here, so very empty. Now I didn't see an M train earlier on, so for sure no M train still, the trains. So not a good clip because I didn't expect the train would come in. Another Q train. And from this angle you can see the station elevated. You can see the outside is literally just right there. Hang on. That's the outside right there. And it's elevated in the middle of the hill and is now going back underground over that way. 759, 760. And that's it. I like spotting trains during rush hours for some of the stations that is not like useful. That's not very, very useful and not a lot of people uses it. Like this one, perfect spot for spotting trains during rush hours.
Please let passengers exit first.
Now, my dream of having an M train for this video probably is not gonna happen. I don't think there are any M trains today, even for rush hours. And more Q trains, like Q train or C train. I don't think they're gonna put any more M trains on Kwun Tong line right now, because considering the M trains are mostly put on TransWA line, somehow even actually more M trains on TransWA line.